Yeah, I thought was she again. The story was much more focused. It was a lot focused. It was a lot more, um, not a whole lot of fat. It was very lean, and the story that they were trying to tell, they told it. They told it really well and everything. Um, the only thing that I would say, and both, listen, this was pretty hard for Bear to kind of choose between the two here. It's kind of hard to choose between the two. Let me just kind of go back to it so we can see both of them here. There we are. There we are. So it's kind of hard to kind of choose between the two because they were both really good. Billy Tucci kind of had his whole little area, a great story, great art, of course, from the classic Billy Tucci here. Like you said, well paced. And again, nice, really great colors. They made this one in like a I think if it was a black and white or if it was like a glow in the dark edition. So, anyways, they had some interesting stuff, and then of course you can see. Let me just go back to it real quick. Oops, here we are. You can see some of the just great colors that he has in here. Really kind of dynamic colors that he has. I thought that was really good. Kind of coming between some of the sepia tone stuff and some of the yeah, there's some good colors there. I was trying to go back to the sepia stuff. Oh, where is it? Where is it? I thought this was a pretty cool panel right here where he had his reflection looking back on him. I thought that was pretty cool. Anyway, some great colors. I thought both of them had really great colors, honestly. Um, you know, it has some flat areas, but other than that, I mean, the fight scenes were great. The fight scenes were really good. I mean, really dynamic and everything. And of course, you had a lot of unexpected twists in there as well. You had this main character here, the bad guy here, fighting the other bad guy. I'm not going to go into spoilers or anything like that, but they had a kind of a interesting, unique kind of twist to it there as well. So that was neat. It even though it was kind of a just standard, I don't want to call it standard story, but it was just kind of, it was a very good story, but it just, okay, here's the plot point, here's the plot point, here's the plot point. You're kind of going along with it and everything, and all of a sudden you got the twist to it. So I thought that was kind of a neat way to do things. He really paced it out very well. Of course, Shadow Sentry also, let me go back to it here so you can see it. So you can see it. Let me go back to it. There we are. Oh, happy Mother's Bears Day. Yes, there we are. There's Mom. Looking lovely. Looking lovely on Mother's Day. Anyways, Shadow Sentry. Some really great artwork. Again, really great colors. I thought he was really, I mean, even at times, even more dynamic than what Billy Tucci was doing as far as some of the colors that he had coming out and everything. It wasn't paced as well as Billy's was. It felt longer. For whatever reason, it felt a little bit longer. Ah, but kind of coming down to it. Okay, which one would you choose? Between the two, you got two great books. You got the book, the classic stuff from Billy Tucci here. Kind of coming up against a sort of newcomer in Eric Ninaltowski here. So Bear actually likes to do that whenever he's doing some of the verses here. Haven't had a whole lot to be able to do kind of verse wise. So it's always good to get back to it. We did some previously where we're putting up, I think it was Narwhal that won just barely, just by a narwhal hair on Gary Titan's Titan. Gary Shipman's Titan. So it's always nice to have these sort of contrasty stuff. Billy is very, I guess what you'd call kind of traditional at it, where Eric, I felt like more he took more chances. Let me just give you a quick example. If I can find it here, give me bear 1 second. Although that was a good one. That was a good one. That one I expanded. There we are. Oops, nope. There we are. So you had this one, which actually it was you had to take the book and then twist it, turn it to be able to see it. So a lot of people might kind of knock the book on that. Oh gosh, I got to turn around and everything. Bear felt like Eric took more chances with what he had, and I felt like, let me go back to the other one. Where was it? Yeah, that one. That was another great one. Um, Billy was a little bit more traditional and just kind of had the panel layout and panel layout. Where Shadow Sentry, it kind of broke that mold up. I feel like this page is kind of a good example of how some of that panel layout kind of got broken up and everything. So, oh, I don't want to cover up. Don't want to cover up she here and Billy Tucci. So, really, what it came down to for Bear between the two, I really, really like she. I thought she, and I'm looking forward to number three. Number three coming out, so that's going to be kind of concluding. I think it's a trilogy, if I'm not mistaken. So he did a really good job, kind of combining the sort of previous, I guess, 25 years. I don't know how long. Don't know how long she has been produced here, but you know, the past issues and stuff like that. I felt like he did a really good job, kind of bringing all those fans up to date without kind of cluttering it up with some of the new fans that haven't read some of that stuff. So he did a really good job with that. Did a really good job with all the artwork and everything. The only thing is, I think Eric Ninaltowski took those extra chances, and you know, it's not always that you want to find the person that takes the chances. It's you want to see the person that takes the chances and they have it succeed for them as well. So that was the only difference between the two. Both great books, but if Bear had to choose just one, it's going to be Shadow Sentry, people. It's going to be Shadow Sentry because I felt like Eric Ninaltowski took some chances on there. Some of them didn't work out. Some of them did. But I think overall, if you're kind of trying to figure out, you know, what was the sort of difference between the two, it would definitely be that he took some chances. Although there is kind of one thing that Bear had as far as the I guess what you would say quality of the books, and I feel like this is a little bit unfair because it is a hardcover for She, while Shadow Sentry is a soft cover. It's perfect bound, but I want to show you something here, and hopefully some of the artists will take notice of some of this stuff because to show some of that for you people, Bear never got a PDF like he did with She, so Bear's having to go through and kind of felt like I was going to do a review for it anyways, kind of a standalone review. So I wanted to scan everything in. So Bear went ahead and kind of scanned all the pages in here. Here's the downside. Let me, sorry, Mom. Gotta get this out of the way. We love you, Mom. We love you, Mom. Wherever you are. The only downside to it here was, let me see if I can get to it here. Get to it here. Open it up here. Get to a random page because I'm sure it'll open up here. There we are. The only thing is when you open it up. Now, first off, you can see where there we go. Can we see it? We can see it now. You can see where all the artwork goes to the extreme end of the page where like Billy Tucci kind of had kind of the panels kind of a gap. Now it might not have worked on like a page like this, okay? You know, because he's trying to do two pages at the same time. But the downside to it, I don't know if we can see that there. Let's see if we can zoom in. So what happens is these perfect bounds sort of get kind of split there, and I've got a loose page here. I don't know if we can see that. Got a loose page there. So that's what happens when you put it in the scanner and you scan it a number of times, it gets kind of flattened out where it gets kind of, it doesn't really rip the pages or anything like that, but where it's sort of, I guess, glued together, it kind of starts to separate. Where, let me see if I can grab it here. 1 second. Bear with beer. Grab it here. Now he had a little bit different style, and he was just doing panels and stuff like that. But just want to show kind of as an example. See, it goes all the way there, but you have a little bit of space between there. So you got some space between the panels. But even still, you open it all the way up, and it's still bound there. It's still bound as far as all that sort of stuff. So Bear could have put this into the scanner, and it would have been just fine. But I've got the PDF instead. And of course, you could see the fossil backdrop there. There we are. Giving away all my secrets. I still have my signed She #1 from the 90s. Holy cow, Andrew J. He is a longtime supporter of She. Longtime supporter. Well, I hope I didn't disappoint you. I hope I didn't disappoint anybody here, Andrew J. for picking Shadow Sentry over She. I really like She. Actually, Bear read She #1 for the very first time. I think it was I think it was about 2 weeks ago or so. Bear had gotten what he thought what he thought was the Return of the Warrior when that campaign came out. So he thought he'd gotten that, but he'd gotten a sketch cover for it. So Bear got it in, and so I felt bad. I didn't want to open it up or anything like that. And what ended up happening was Bear actually got his second order in, which he thought was going to be a regular comic and everything, and evidently ended up hitting the wrong button there and getting the prints instead. So I got a whole bunch of prints from that first campaign, and the very first book, which let me see, do I have it? Let me bear with Bear. 1 second. Let me see. No, I don't. But anyways, it's on one of the other videos that Bear had. It's a very nice head sketch and everything. So I was like, oh well, okay, well I'm not gonna be able to read this book or anything like that because I don't want to damage it or anything like that. And finally got around. He's like, all right, well let me go ahead and read this. I thought it was the Return of the Warrior book, but it actually was the very first book. So got to read that. That was a really good. We talk about different chances and stuff like that people took. There was something I think very early on in the book where the She character, they had a guy. I think it was a guy. No, it was a female cop. She was getting beaten up in an alleyway, and the way that the panels kind of laid out, it kind of had these sort of alleyway, and then it took a 90-degree, and then you had the cop car kind of shining down the alleyway, and then you had kind of She walking along, kind of, so that the shadow was projecting up or projecting down the alleyway, and then you had the 90-degree turn at the top of the page, so then you can see all the people battling it out there in the, I call it the second alleyway or the turn of the alleyway there. I thought that was a great kind of setup and everything, and that was kind of one of the things that it was a little bit missing from the She book here. Is it was very kind of, and he did a really great job with it. There's nothing wrong with it. I think Billy is an expert on just laying out that sort of stuff. But I miss some of that very, I don't know, early 90s, late 90s, whatever, mid 90s, whatever it was, artwork that he did, a little bit. You have your hungry artist, so they take a little bit more chances. Where I felt this was a little bit more, I don't want to say safe choices. He did some really interesting choices, and I really liked a lot of the sort of blending and artwork that he was doing there. But it was just panel, where Eric kind of blended a lot of that stuff in, and Bear was missing a little bit of that from Billy, especially from his very first book. So yeah, I'm glad you were able to get that book. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. He's telling Billy, oh my gosh. Well, give Bear his best regards, even though he didn't pick us. Again, this was a hard choice. It was really the hardest choice. I got to the end of the second book here, and I was like, I think I'm gonna choose She. But the more that Bear thought about it, it was like, well, I didn't like the pacing and the story in Shadow Sentry, but he had some really great artwork. You can't knock his artwork there. And I think, let me go back, because I think I read that the other week. Give Bear just 1 second here. Ah, yes, here it is. Let me pull it up here, because he was talking about, one second. Eric was talking about a sort of line art version. I think this would be kind of interesting to get. So take out all the dialogue boxes and everything, and just kind of show the artwork as well. So I think that would be an interesting thing. Yeah, his 7.5 by 11.5 with 20 pages of extras. There you go. So, anyways, I thought that was kind of a interesting way of kind of doing some stuff as far as his artwork goes and everything. And I mean, just look at all the detail that goes in there. That's pretty cool. He did a really good job. He did a really great job. I thought the coloring was just out of sight. It was excellent. Again, Eric Letters Too Much does a great job. It all came. The book came together. It was just the story and just the pacing of it was off. And really, I mean, I could have went with she and would have been just fine. I would have said, oh, the pacing's fine, all this other stuff. But that was one of the things that was just kind of nagging at Bear, was just saying, he took a couple more chances. So I think that's when you get down to kind of competitions like that, you kind of like, okay, if everybody's equal, which one would you choose and why? And I think that just taking those couple extra chances kind of put him over the top. Still looking forward to the third she. I think rounding it out might change Bear's mind. You never know. Oh, let me get off of this. Get off of that. Where is it? There it is. There we are. So, anyways, that is that. That is the kind of review for both of those. Great books. Go check them out. She is going to be going out of it. I think, what did he say, next Friday? Next Friday, so get on she. Even if you don't, give Deborah a drink, for crying out loud. Shaddow Sentry. He's got the what did he say, at the end of May? I think the black and white thing that you just saw was going to be at the end of the May, and then let me read. And then in June, wow, that's pretty quick. Book 2 is going to launch, so you get to look forward to book 2. Ooh, there's Hopscotch. All right, one of my favorite characters. I thought that Eric did a really good job as far as the bad guys in his book. I thought the good guys were just kind of, kind of vanilla. I thought some of the bad guys, I mean, they had some great characters in there. I thought that was really good. So, humans, thank you for watching this video. If you wish to have more, please like and subscribe. And don't forget that bell for notification. It would please Bear very much. You don't want to see Bear bad, do you? Grrrrr.